The following is a presentation of TFNN, The Trader's Edge, with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the October 8th, terrific Tuesday edition of today's opening bell on The Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with tools that, well, just simply tools that help us to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that's truly what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call, whatever you have, you must use it or you will lose it. You know, the natural state of the human body is that of health, of strength, and of flexibility. But what happens if we spend most of our time inactive? Answer, we tend to get weak, we tend to get stiffed, which in turn can impact our mind, which leads to lethargy and even depression. In fact, folks, have you ever seen somebody that's depressed? I guarantee you, they're not doing a whole lot of movement out there. You know, our natural state of health can be lost. You got to use it or lose it. The same thing happens with time. You know, 24 hours a day are available to each person. You got to either use it or you'll lose it. Now, here's the cool thing. Each of us have talents. You've got talents. What are your talents? Are you an artist? Are you a giver? What is that special talent that you have? You want to use it, folks, or guess what? You will lose it. And that would be a travesty. You know, in 1953, Harlan Sanders was an out-of-work 66-year-old gentleman. Harlan's talent was his method of frying chicken. He loaded up his car with a 50-pound can of his special seasoning and, of course, a pressure cooker. He took it to the road. He visited all kinds of restaurants with but one mission. That mission, let me cook chicken for you and your staff. If you like the way it tastes, I'll sell you my seasoning. Teach you how to cook the chicken, and you pay me 4 cents. 4-cent royalty on each chicken you sell. Colonel Sanders, he used his special talent. He waited till he was 66, folks. I say use it or lose it, because each of you, you have special talents that can aid folks. Maybe some of you've got accumulated large amounts of wealth. Now is the time to help your fellow man, your fellow woman, and child out there. You know, it's October. What did I say? It's October the 8th already? That means Thanksgiving is near. So do something extraordinary for someone today. Use it, folks, or lose it. Let's go check out the markets here. Let's go see if we can figure out what they're doing, see if we can find any patterns out here right now. Dow futures are up 12 points, trading at 14,862. S&P futures up 2, trading at 1669.75. NASDAQ futures up about 3 points. Russell 2000 up nearly 2. King dollar, really pretty flat out there. Currency market relatively flat. Of course, we're going to take a look at a potential, I do say potential trade that is setting up inside of the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. You've got Goldilocks back about $3, trading out at $13.22. Silver had a big move yesterday. It's trading down 6 pennies. Is it? Not even 6 pennies. It's flat. Trading at $22.38. Light sweet crude up 71 cents. Trading out at $103.74. A quick peek across the globe out here. Over in Asia last night, man, you would think with us handing the ball off as we did here in the U.S. that they would have had a frown on their face. Well, they actually did early on, and then they came roaring back. It was green lights across the board. The Shanghai, which had been closed for Golden Week for 5 days, that closed up 1%, a little over 1%, up 24 points at 2,300.95. The Hang Seng up 0.9%, up 204 points. The Nikkei did manage to finish higher, up 41 points. Over in Europe right now, though, DAX is off 5. FTSE threatening to take out several hammer candles. We'll see if it's got the energy to do that. It's trading down 46 points right now. Our call-in number is 877-927-6648. Let's go take a look at the week link out here. We'll start off by taking a look at the Dow futures. Right now, trading out at 14,865. They did manage to trade down into the swing point low from August the 28th yesterday, the top of which is 14,849. It's trading right now at 14,866. So you got a swing point that it's coming into. You also have where the last time on the way up, where we saw a bullish candle inside the Dow futures. In fact, there were only 2 bullish candles that showed up during the move up. That first one was right here, this bullish engulfing candle. That took place on September 4th. Well, that candle wrapped the entire body of September 3rd. That says that the low of 14,761 should be good support. The swing point on August 28th, 176,000 contracts coming into it yesterday with only 127,000 contracts. Not enough, at least not enough yet, to bust it down, and we got to be paying attention. We must be paying attention to weakness out here, and that most certainly is the Dow. Of course, you might ask, hey, Steve, where was that second bullish candle you were referring to inside the Dow? Well, that was this little gap up here, that little open window, and that took place between September 13th and September 16th out there, and then you had the bears show up. You know, a market, folks, it can't reverse. It won't reverse until it gives you the signal. And those signals are going to be in candlesticks without a doubt. We had an evening star formation as the Dow, in fact, made its highs back here on September 19th. That is a 3-candle session. You had that evening star out here. Now as we take a look at the move down, you had a gap down. You know, we had this gap up here. That was bullish. Well, here's bearish. We had a gap down between September 27th as well as September 30th out there. We have seen a couple of potential bullish reversal signals inside of the Dow futures on the way down. You had a little bull sash candle here. Boom. The bears overran them on the trading session of October the 2nd. We had a little piercing candle that showed up. That was on Friday. And then, of course, yesterday, that totally got erased out here. What's it going to take in order to see some kind of reversal? Well, I will tell you, inside of the Dow futures, you would actually need to see a close above 15,031. You're at 14,865 right now, so that would be a heck of a rally. But that would get back inside of the rising price channel. That would get back inside of the trend line out there, and it would close above the October 3rd high. That's where I have my eye at the moment, is the high of October 3rd. If you don't get a close above it, any bounce you get is just that. It is just a bounce. But we are moving into an area of support, or at least potential support, and we'll see if it, in fact, and it didn't have the volume yesterday, so we'll see what volume is looking like today. Now, that's on the daily chart. If we go take a look at the intraday chart out here, let me switch over. We'll do this for a moment, then we'll go take a look at that potential trade setup. Actually, this is the ES Mini here, so why don't I just take a look at the ES Mini. This is a 30-minute chart. The 30-minute chart shows a potential, and it looks like more likely a reality here of a little A to B equals CD up that would be forming. It had a little doji. It looks like a doji, doesn't it? Smells like a doji. Actually, that candle out there, that qualifies as one of Stevie's hammer candles. So you got a hammer candle that came in last evening at about, 21:30, if I do my math right, 9:30 in the evening. A little bullish engulfing candle that followed here at 10 o'clock. So that becomes our A point of a to B equals CD up, the low of which is 1662.75. Your B point came in at 3:30 this morning. That's where we saw the big sharp sell-off yesterday. Here's that 3:30 a.m. candle as Europe was coming online. At 3:30 in the morning, the high of 1670.75, 14,000 contracts. That area was attacked here recently at 8:30 this morning with 25,000 contracts. This really should set up an A to B equals CD. That'll take price into about the 1674 range out there. That at least is going to be the first movement. That's the first A to B equals CD. But if we go take a look at the retracement from that hammer low all the way up to the high that was put in, well, we'll see it is a 0.618. So 1-to-1 would be a good likely outcome. And then we'll see what price is going to do, because price here, if I just actually switch over to a little bit longer term chart, makes it pretty easy to see. You can see there's the 120-minute chart. This shows the same thing on the 30-minute chart. This is just a little bit more visually easy to see. If you are watching us on TigerTV, if you're listening in on the radio or your mobile device at TFNN.mobi, thanks so much for doing that. Remember, you can catch the live stream of this by just going to the homepage of TFNN.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see that button. Click on it on the upper right-hand side, 3 little smartphones. You'll get this show streaming live. Of course, the archive is also on Channel 9, so you can expect here at the 1674 level to find some pretty significant resistance. That is the descending price channel. This is the area that we need to watch like a hawk. We want to watch like a hawk because it couldn't be any easier than this. The market is in a descending price channel. It's at 1674 where the back would be up against the wall, and you could take a look at actually selling that D point. Of course, you would want to sell that D point if you saw a reversal candle, just like as we took a look back here on the Dow futures. You would never be selling along the way up here as price was moving up. No reversal. There's no reversal. The market does what? It's got to move higher out here, just like on the way down. Until we see a bullish signal on the way down, the market will continue to move lower. It is really that simple out there. It is that simple. And that's the cool thing. Yesterday I was talking about that I really believe that this is the business. This is the business that you need to get your kids into. This is a business that obviously you've got to be into as well. But just think of what you could pass down to your kids and your grandkids. These markets are going to be around worldwide. The technology that is at our fingertips. I was thinking about it. There's a cool movie out there. I don't know if you like music. If you do like music, one of my favorite movies, and it's really because of music, is just simply, oh no, don't tell me I can't remember the name. Oh, Almost Famous. Have you ever seen the movie Almost Famous? Well, I was just thinking about technology. I remember William Miller, he's one of the characters out there, but he was talking to Ben Fong Torres, who actually was with the Rolling Stone magazine out there. And I remember the scene where he's saying, William, we've got a Mojo, a very high-tech machine that transmits pages over the telephone. It only takes 18 minutes a page. Folks, it really wasn't that long ago where we were all using that Mojo, that fax machine. How many of you using fax machines today? Technology. It's a beautiful thing. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Investors, Taz Market Research delivers to its subscribers expert commentary on the analysis of 15 different markets each day. Get this invaluable and timely information through the daily market research videos Taz Market Research produces each day before 9 a.m. The video analysis will include reports on currencies, interest rates, indices, metals, energies, grains, and more. You'll be able to gauge where high profitability setups are in each of the markets. Receive a free 2-week trial subscription to Taz Market Research videos on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. It is always better when we're together. Speaking of good music, Jack Johnson, nice, good, laid-back, Hawaiian-style music out there. You should check his music out. If we take a look here at the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, that's a currency pair that may be setting up the next buy pattern out here. If you are watching us on Tiger TV, you can see the A to B equals CD down. That has completed, the 1-to-1 that has completed. We have not gotten a buy signal on this on the daily chart just yet. In fact, we're looking for what I'm looking for. I'll tell you exactly what it is I'm looking for, and that is a close above yesterday's high. 97.321 is the number. Now, you can see here the bulls are truly trying to take control, trying to give us a bullish reversal signal. That would be a bullish engulfing candle. And today, I would take this trade without a second opinion. That means without the trading session of tomorrow in here, as long as the close was above 97.321 out there. That would be a nice pattern. Now, if we take a look, it's really a Gartley buy pattern, a little bit beyond the 0.786 retracement, as I recall, and that would be taking a look at the swing point low from August 8th out there, down at 95.79, all the way up to the high that was put in on the trading session of September 11th. The actual 0.786 level is 96.825 out there. So it got just slightly below that. That's not so much of a big deal because, remember, we use these things as guidelines, not as exactness out here. We're just using these as guidelines to help us to understand when patterns may be completing. And you've got to wait for a confirmation that that pattern is completing, and we don't have that confirmation yet here in the in the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. We're very close to it. We know exactly what signal, and then you have to say, okay, is the reward to risk worth it? Because in my opinion, you want to wait for confirmation to take the trade. Wouldn't you like to know that the bulls have actually taken charge of the market when this is really a counter trend trade at the moment out here? I would say the answer to that is absolutely. And if we take a look at where price would move up to, well, you just simply would go and take a look at your entire A to D point. That would be from the high of September 11th down to at least this stage here, the intersession low today. Your 0.382 retracement, that would be $98.09 out there. That would be the first target. That would be the dead cat bounce level out there. That's where you can start taking a look at moving your stop up a bit. Of course, you'd move your stop to at least break even, or maybe take the trade off as price made its way to the 99.05 level. That would be your 0.618 retracement. Of course, you'd want to really be paying attention to the candlesticks as these areas are being hit, because they'll tell you whether or not there's any kind of energy inside of the move. They just simply reveal so much information to us. So we'll pay attention. We'll check back in on this trade out here. Again, that's the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. Of course, if we do go up and we take a look at the monthly chart, you'll see substantial resistance here inside of this trade. This is the long-term U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. And even though it's made its way off the bottom, all it did was ran into a brick wall. Not the kind that Pink Floyd was talking about, but it ran into a brick wall, and that was the resistance of that downtrend. So the euro, or the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, actually, even with all of its printing of money, of loosening currency, it's still in a downtrend. It's still up against a resistance level. And only when it breaks that resistance level, that red diagonal line that you're looking at on my screen, in fact, if you're taking a long trade, you've got to be paying attention to that area as price gets up into that trend line, because it has held price in place basically since 1998 out there. So it is one that you've got to. That's why when you're inside a trade, you're getting inside a trade, make sure you go up a level or two, or go up, take a look at what it looks like up top, what it looks like down below. In fact, down below, if we were to go take a look at the 100, let me see if I got it. It's a 30-minute chart. So if we take a look at the 30-minute chart of the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, no reason to get too overly optimistic here, because we can see where price hit the low. This is coming in at 6 p.m. last evening. Of course, it gave you a nice little hammer candle out there, and that hammer candle was hitting what? It was hitting the bottom of the descending price channel that it is working inside of the 30-minute chart. So if you were to take that trade, if we get confirmation today, how important is it going to be for us to be taking a look at this intraday chart, at the 30-minute chart, because it too has got resistance up at this upper line of the downtrend channel out there. So that's how you got to put together a trade. You need to take a look at what's going on underneath the covers. That's at a time frame lower, like 120 or maybe a 30-minute chart if you're looking at the daily. And you got to know where that overhead resistance is, because you want to know when you got clear sailing. Clear sailing says we're going longer and deeper. Right now, you don't have that in U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
We're off to the races. We got the Dow down 16 points, trade out at 14,919. S&P off 1 at 1674. Composite is flat, down 31 cents, trading at 37.70. Russell 2000 up 41 pennies out here, trading at 10.66. Apple up 46 cents. Microsoft down 3. Google off 23 cents. Lead the charge to the upside, McKesson Corp. Drug distributor out there, MCK, is the ticker symbol. They're up 6.5%, up $8 and a change. Don't see any news behind it. Outer Wall having another nice morning out here, up about 3%, up $1.70. Tesla Motors up $1.58, trading at 184.65. Potbelly, a new sandwich shop IPO that came out of 2 or 3 days ago. PB, peanut butter, Potbelly. That's up 3.5%, up $1.14. Tenet Healthcare, THC, up $1. It's always, anyways. That's up $1.23, up nearly about 3%. Solar City, SCTY. Got to be careful how you actually say those call symbols, especially when you're on the radio out there. SCTY, because it could sound a little different. Up 3.5%, up $1.36. Darden Restaurants up $1 this morning here. To the downside, Jamba Juice. You ever been to a Jamba Juice? JAMBA, GMBA, JMBA is a ticker symbol. They're down 21% this morning. They're taking it in the shorts. We'll take a look at it. Looks like the orange juice getting squeezed out of Jamba Juice. You got Crestwood Midstream off 274. That's down 10%. Tower Group, TWGP, they're down 33%. What the heck is that? Anyways, down 33% off 250. BioMarin Pharmaceuticals, BMRW, off 276, 2.5% down $2. Science Applications, SAIC off 4.5%, down $1.47. Restoration Hardware off $1.50. C-SPAN Corp SSW off $1.43. Again, our call number 877-927-6648. And on my chart here, one that we're going to want to be paying attention to is the Euro Japanese yen, not the U.S. dollar Japanese yen, but the Euro Japanese yen, because this one we want to be watching to see if, in fact, right now all it's done is trade up into the resistance area of its descending price channel. That's key here. And as we saw the futures up a little bit this morning, price inside the U.S. dollar Japanese yen was also trading up and was trading right in, and it was getting into on just a very shorter term time period, a little bit of an intraday overbought condition. And so whatever pullback we see as it's coming into resistance, that's not necessarily a good thing, but it is something to expect. So what we want to be watching is we want to be watching to see how this now pulls back. But more importantly, can it break out above that descending price channel? Because if it does break out above it, comes back, tests it, rejects it, and moves higher, then you will see the market begin its bounce or change in trend, one or the other. In fact, if you take a look at the this chart out here, this is the way that it works. If you take a look at it, the Euro-Japanese yen at about 1 o'clock in the morning on October the 3rd, it broke through that descending price channel as always, not always, but most times what happens is you'll break through a trend line, a channel line, you'll come back and test it, and it did test it during the trading session of 9 o'clock in the morning, October 3rd, but then, guess what, came back inside the price channel. That was it. That actually went ahead and set up the A to B equals CD down, which, by the way, it completed. You can see it completed right here. It completed that D point at $2,100 at 9 p.m. last evening as price got down into the level of 131.12. No real bullish candle, period, out here that had formed as it completed that A to B equals CD down. But we want to be paying attention to this line, because if this is resistance, we're going to see the market, sell off. It could just simply continue to sell off. On the other hand, right now the market, you got the Dow's off 46 points, S&P is down 3 out here, and we know that you've got the bears are in control. I mean, 2003 net advancing issues is what would be needed in the New York Stock Exchange in order for the bulls to take over, and I don't see that necessarily happening today, but we want to be paying attention to this stock chart, so we'll certainly do that during the next course of the next hour and a half out there. In the meantime, let's go check out some of these stocks here that are moving up and down. Let's go take a look at Jamba Juice. JMBA is the ticker symbol. Didn't even know that they were a public company, but I guess it kind of makes sense out there. So first time that I certainly am taking a look at this stock, and man, oh man, this thing is gapping down with volume. Let's go see if it's got some volume to gap down into, that it's pulling back to a low, high volume low or something. Down with, there was a big sell-off in this thing. Wide price spread, accelerated volume. That was a danger sign back on August the 6th. 2013. This thing moved down with 1.7 million shares, so for this equity, that's big volume. But the price spread was from a high of 1581 to a low of 1345, so that was a big price move out there. And here's your high volume bar. Well, it's trading well below that. That's a danger sign. Let me pull this back even further out here. So here's the next high volume bar, but that's way up here. That's not where it's headed to. Boy, oh boy. Let's. This is confirming a huge A to B equals CD down then. That's really what it's doing. So you can take a look at the smaller A to B equals CD down. We'll take a look at both of them. The smaller one was this one that it completed out here. Your A point on this equity was up at the highs out here. Made a high June the 12th, had a little bearish engulfing candle. That high was 1750. That's not the B point. I didn't grab it. The B point on this is going to be the candle session from June 25th out here. So let's come back. We'll draw our A to B. The C point is a retracement, probably about a 0.618 retracement back into July 15th. Makes a 1 to 1.272. A to B equals CD. If we just simply take, I'm sure that it was in a oversold condition as was moving down into that level, just really working that condition off. Now it looks like the largest A to B equals CD could easily be setting up here. Let's take a look at the large one. The A point going to be the same A point, June the 12th. Your B point that I'm going to use on this is going to be the low of August 30th. Your C point looks like right up here. Is that about it? Yeah, that's the trading session on September 23rd. So 1-to-1 on this would take you to about $8.75, $7.39. Now let's go take a look at this on the weekly chart. Let's put that on a weekly time frame and see what we've got. See if there's a swing point down in that area. So A to B. So that's the A to. In essence, what I was drawing in there. Take a look at that doji up at a resistance area. Not a good thing. A little evening star formation candle on the weekly chart also. So that the A to B equals CD on the weekly, that's what it looks like. And 795, 625 Jamba Juice could easily come all the way back down to its lows from 2011, December 23rd, right around 615 to 695. And it looks like that's where it's headed to. And that is on Jamba Juice. See if there's any other high volume bar out here. They're dangerous where they're at because this one here is at about, 740, I suppose, 740. And we were saying get down to about the 630-ish range. 740 is the high, 470 is the low. So that's on Jamba Juice. Let's go take a look at, let's see what else do we have moving to the downside out here of any significance. Let's take a look at Crestwood Midstream. A couple stocks that I don't ever recall looking at. CMLP is the ticker symbol. That is trading down about 10% this morning. So let's see what that is trading into. CMLP again is the ticker symbol. So gapping down with volume, taking out a swing point with volume here this morning. So it looks like this is setting up a very large A to B equals CD down. This thing does not have a lot of liquidity I'm all the way back in the November 2012 time frame. It's got 88,000 shares, but it's taken out a swing point this morning, which was September 17th. That low was 2404, 193,000 shares. You're gapping down below it. You've already done 250,000 shares. The A to B equals CD down on this equity is going to take price down to the first level is going to be $21.99. I suppose $20.88 is most certainly game out here. That would even make more sense because that'll take you all the way back into the November 15, 2012 swing point. So that is on Crestwood Midstream. Let's go take a look at some stocks here. Pop into the upside. Let's go ahead and shift some gears out here. That being McKesson Corp, MCK. McKesson Corp, boy, that goes back a long way when I used to be in the computer business back in the 80s. A guy that used to run a company called SoftCell. They were one of the large distributors back then. I remember a good friend, John, when he went to work for McKesson Corp. MCK is the ticker symbol. Yeah, back in the old Intercomp days. So let's go take a look here at McKesson. That is gapping up this morning. Some good volume behind its move. Looks like this thing might be at all-time highs. Let's put this back on a longer-term time frame out here. Yeah, take a look at this. This is a nice-looking stock, isn't it? Coming off of the lows back in 2009, out at $28 and change. It's trading right now at $135, so a nice six-banger out there. All the way up here, not a lot of bears during this move up. If we take a look at the A to B equals CD, let's go off of those lows back in 2008. Again, that low price, $28.27. Your B point on this that I would use is May 31st. That's up at $87.32. I'd come down. Slight retracement, 0.382 retracement. That's into October 31st. Price, take a look at that price along that C to D leg. Take a look at that. It's a beautiful thing. That's telling us it's got a lot of strength, still has a lot of strength in it. 141.72 is its next stop. That's 1 to 1.272, but looks to me like maybe about $162 or so is on its radar screen out here. That's on the monthly chart that we are taking a look at. On the daily chart out here, let's see, where are any real breakouts, breakdowns? If this thing pulls back, so when you take a look at that chart, maybe if this thing can pull back and test that September 20th area, that's got 2 million shares out there. That's the last time that we saw any kind of high volume in the equity. No real wide price spread, but not a bad-looking stock chart out here. The last breakout on this was on July 26th, and that was at a price level of 126.36 out there. Don't know that it will pull back into that area. So that's on McKesson Corp. Let's see, what else do we have moving to the upside? You got Netflix has jumped in on the game, Wolverine Worldwide, Zillow. Let's take a look at some big. Let's take a look at X1. That's up this morning here. That thing has just absolutely gotten hammered. David White I remember making a great call on that because I believe he was paying attention to the lockup shares that were, or maybe it was lockup shares as well as maybe a combination of these guys might have floated some extra currency, some extra paper out there. But if we take a look at the retracement on this equity off of its IPO date, the low of which is February 7th, that was debuted. The low of that day was $23.50 all the way up to this high out here on August 13th at $78.80. What it's done is made basically a 0.618 retracement. It's gotten into the extreme over sold area, and it did that back on September the 30th. Nice little bull sash candle out here. So support on this equity, if you're in it, should be about $42.16 out here. Yesterday's move not too shabby, 1.8 million shares, but let's go see what was it moving into, or out here, where is really the, it's moving into about 2.2, so not too bad off of the bottom. And that is on X1 out there. Let's see what else we have moving out here in the marketplace. I want to go back. Actually, I want to take a look at the currency pair because I can see, you got the Russell is just slightly green here. And so I want to pay attention. We really do want to be paying attention to that currency pair, which is the Euro-Yen. Now, it's a 120-minute chart on my screen. Yeah, okay. So the Euro-Yen, you can see off of its session lows out here. And this is going to be really key because the chart patterns here, we're talking about some amazing symmetry. I don't know if that's really the right word to use, but when we take a look at how things are lining up, it couldn't be more clear as to whether prices are going to take out some resistance areas and do it in unison, or whether they're just running up into resistance areas in order to start selling off again. And that's what's so important. So this currency pair here, the 120-minute chart, very important as we switch back over into the intraday charts out here for the ES Mini. That's the 120-minute chart. So that A to B equals CD needs to be redrawn out here because we saw a little bit of a punch lower coming into the open as the ES Mini pulled back into the 11:30 time frame. So now, if you're going to redraw this A to B equals CD, this small one that we're taking a look at on the 120-minute chart, it would still use the same A point, which is 1660.275, but now because it made a little bit lower low during this open here at 9:30, we've also got to use a little bit higher high. That actually, it's the high from the 9:30 session, which is up at 1671, and then to pull back into the low right there. So that's 1674 still being met, but just now we've got a proper A to B equals CD that is has formed out here. So just because it gets to 16, if it does get to 1674, doesn't mean you're off to the races. You want to see simultaneously this trend line. This because you can see that clearly we're in a downtrend. There is absolutely no doubt about it as we take a look at the ES and Mini out here. In fact, if we go take a look at the other two charts to be paying attention to, that's the Russell 2000 and the NASDAQ. Those traveling in nice sideways consolidation zone, 60-point consolidation zone inside of the NQ here, but it has not been able to get down to the bottom of that consolidation, which would be right around the 3185-ish level. Right now, we've got the Dow up 17, S&P down 1, and we will be right back.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Are you ready to ride the next bull market wave? Catch the Chapman Wave. Using the Chapman Wave methodology, Basil's very comprehensive daily newsletter, The Opening Call, gives the short, intermediate, long-term analysis for the key indexes. In his Trader's Corner, he gives a brief market summary and expectation for the day with possible trades, both long and short, which are reviewed daily. A position subscribers sold recently for a 42% on part, plus a 64% on rest. And Hertz Global as a core position for 6 months before exiting the position. A current position entered as a turnaround company with good technicals based on Basil's waveform is trading up to 170% of its entry point as a portion sold earlier for a 21% gain. Subscribers to the Opening Call can see the Chapman Wave techniques demonstrated illustrated and explained daily to educate investors. To get your 2-week free trial, do the opening call. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on TFNN.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. With the 600th weekly Gold Report issue fast approaching, Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. Know it is that time of the year. Great sports. Nice football game on last evening. The Jets and the Falcons, of course, a little too late for me to be watching it, but the Jets did pull it off with a field goal at the end with like about 3 seconds. Then in Tampa, the Boston Red Sox Tampa baseball game, walk-off homer in the ninth inning to extend the series to another game. So that's going to be on this evening, I think about 8:30. You got Oakland and Detroit this afternoon. Well, early evening, about 5 o'clock, game time out here. Speaking of game time, I've got an A to B equals CD down that was drawn in on the NASDAQ, the NQ 30-minute chart. The 8-point was the high at 4 p.m. on October the 4th out at the 32.37 level. Your B point down here at the lows at about 5 a.m. or so on October 7th, right around 32.01. 1-to-1. A to B equals CD projection, 31.95. We had 31.95 as we were in the breakout there. I was coming in with a wide-ranging bar, but, the candle session not over. This candle here does not end till 9:55 out here, so you can see the bulls after that A to B equals CD. I wonder if they are using Steve-O's A to B, Larry's A to B equals CD, H.M. Gartley's A to B equals CD, your A to B equals CD as well. Let's go out to Nashua, New Hampshire, to Lou. Lou, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today? Do we have Lou?
Yeah. Could you look at crude oil futures?
Lights. Yeah, I can. Are you looking to go long?
I'm looking to go long.
Yeah, this would be the time to. This would be the time to do it out here. It's really at the bottom of the box of a consolidation range out here. So your back is up against the law. You really need to see it get above this little rising trend line, though. So if you're going to take the trade and it doesn't close above this rising trend line, then you take whatever small profit or whatever small loss because you need to see it get above. And that's just taking the trend line, Lou, off of the low of April 18th, 85.61. And your next touch point out here is going to be June 24th low at 92.67. And that is acting as a resistance level. It really shouldn't, but it is. And if it does continue to act as that, you've got two competing patterns. The bullish pattern is the sideways consolidation that says that we should see light sweet crude run up to that $109-ish area again inside the box. But if it can't break that trend line, you don't have really any kind of confirmation out there. But it does look to me like if you were going to take a long trade, now or earlier in the day would have been the time to do it. When it's trading down into the bottom of that consolidation, which is like right around the 103 level. You're 103.91 right now. All righty?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, you betcha. So, folks, let's see here. Let's kind of wrap it up. You got the Bears. They absolutely have control of the market. As I said, net advancing issues in the New York Stock Exchange. In order for the Bulls to take control, you need 2,003. We are 83 net advancing issues. What we really want to do is we want to be paying attention to whether or not the existing trend, the downward trend, is going to stay in place. Now, you've got a downward trend inside of the Dow and the S&P. You've got a sideways trend inside of the Russell 2000 and the NASDAQ futures. So those are also two charts to be paying attention to. And we also want to be paying attention to that Euro-Japanese yen. I believe it'll be the Euro-Japanese yen that actually gives us the signal before our markets do, and we just want to be paying attention to that. So if you're off to start your Tuesday, have a terrific day. I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Otherwise, we'll see you in a few minutes. And always remember, folks, you have an amazing power within yourself, and that power, it's so strong, it'll create a life of abundance. It'll cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent masterpieces, but most of all, folks, I mean most of all, it'll create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family. Have a great Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.